Hello, good morning. Happy Wednesday. This is Zacchaeus. I want to change the subject of the videos I've been talking about. And I'm going to talk about music. And yeah, I'll be 40 years old this year. And I will also, this song was 30 years ago. But actually, it was popular. I saw it in 1990. Maybe VSO, BET, when BET was BET before it was sold to Viacom. Because it was mostly on the R&B charts. It did not, now this on Wikipedia, it did not go to the Billboard charts. It didn't go to the pop charts, but this song that Patti Labelle, because I see that Prince wrote the song, and I just heard Prince's version of it today. So the song came out I think in '86 with Prince. Prince, since Patti LaBelle's career was getting big, especially in R&B and pop charts too, but most of the R&B, Patti LaBelle um, revised it. Prince, you know, let her do it, and he also arranged the song as well with Patti LaBelle. Of course, he's not in the video, but the song "Yo Mister" is about a young teenage girl who had was troubled and her father had kicked her out. And the reason why I bought this song, we had always talk about crime and broken homes and single parents and this and that. And this one thing no one's not talking about besides talking about the crack epidemic. This song was big. The topic was you had throwaways because in this case she was a throwaway is a teen that's kicked out. A runaway is a teen that chooses to get out of the house. Okay, and I remember songs like "Children of Night" by what's the man name? Richard Sparks. I think his name Richard Sparks. I remember songs that talked about. Then this round, even years later in the early '90s, Tupac when he was singing, was doing gangster rap, was rapping "Brenda Got a Baby." Okay, and y'all know about "Brenda Got a Baby." Songs like that that a lot of folks don't understand that that's what the breaking down, not only breaking the family, the crime element in the 80s and 90s. This actually started in the 70s too. Um, the stuff we're talking about now with, sex trafficking and child sex trafficking and gangs and thugs and hood rat and all stuff. You're talking about, but yeah, always go to the origin. And the one thing that folks don't look back is the past of that caused today's problem. Okay, in the '80s, they tried to paint, especially Reagan days, as the family oriented. Most families had good families, the functional family, most in the hood, the barrio, the ghetto, and and if you listen to, of course, Carol's father in the song is a single father. No, it doesn't mention about the mother. And even Madonna talked about Papa Don't Preach. That was similar, but it was more poppy. It wasn't really a serious song. Talking about teenage pregnancy. I'm keeping my baby. But this is the time when teenage was getting pregnant. Folks were dropping out of school. Folks were joining gangs. This is back in the 80s, y'all, okay? The crack epidemic, people selling crack. Like today, folks selling kush. They were just selling crack. You had, and it wasn't just people on the quote underclass of the United States. You had people since cocaine was getting big, and we already know about CI and Reagan, Bush. So, and it was targeting minorities, but the cocaine laid on crack also targeted wealthy areas, especially white neighborhoods. Okay, when did it but you had people of color and African and Hispanic community, Asian, whatever, smoking crack too. And this is when with so much going on, you had sexual abuse in the family, incest, all this stuff. And this is time when they were trying to paint that these topics were not going on. Okay, you know. And it's why you had, and I'm not defending gangster rap because of exploitation. That's why we're seeing Black Lives Matter. But it's way before, Death Row Records and Jimmy Iovine. But reason why that Easy E, Dr. Dre, DJ Yella, and Ice Cube was calling their songs reality rap because in the East Coast, I noticed they live in the hood, but they tried to deflect. You know what I'm saying? And it was using hip hop to, like, instead of fight, they do dance battle. That's what people start doing, freestyle battling. So they would not fight and stuff, and folks would have block parties, and stuff. And so in the West Coast, they will do that too, but they also will deal with police corruption besides the crack epidemic.
Mm.
You have police, in LA as well, and I see why not to they coming out of the low, I would say low education, they got exploited by the white, you know, um, race people in the industry like Jerry Heller. But they was trying to talk about fuck the police and reality rap. Okay, that folks that the news media was trying to cover up. Well, unlike in that case, Patti LaBelle and even Prince, Yo Mister talked about songs like that without cursing. And like I said, see how NWA songs for the police and other songs, and at my cruising my 6'4", yeah, boys in the hood, yes, the boys in the hood, y'all song, okay, which made it popular, and they became mainstream. Of course, everybody know Patti LaBelle from the Bells, Uchi Gucci, you know what I'm saying, Lady Marmalade, okay. In that song, we're talking about a light skinned Creole woman, Malata, so New Orleans, say like I'm mixed I don't even know the song, I don't even know all the language, but it's saying Buku say like Creole, Lady Mama, like okay, yeah, that's the original song, okay. And one thing, when Moulin Rouge came out, I wish that I liked the song of Moulin Rouge version of, but I prefer the Patti LaBelle, the Bells, because it was real. It was, what I'm saying, they took the meaning of the song, okay? All right.
Mm.
So, and I know everybody was singing that song because of the sexual revolution, and a lot of folks understand that's when the families broke it up. We had see a parent, because of course, the economic, I mean, the region race, many white women who are feminists were middle class, and they benefit from action, and they can afford a pill. They was getting abortions. Sisters, and then and really abortion got big when it came to um, Jesse Jackson when he started running for president. That really he took money from Planned Parenthood. That's really got folks start the abortion started to be big in the African American community, because back in the day in the 60s and 70s we didn't believe, our people didn't believe in abortion until it was genocide, especially Black Panthers. But when Jesse Jackson was running for president against Reagan, and he almost was aborted, okay, then he saw money, and he's a preacher, that was against his faith, as a Baptist, and he took that money to get around president. He took Planned
Mm.
Parenthood's money, so that's what made our community. Yes, we saw all the Planned Parenthoods in the body in the hood, the ghetto, okay, talking girls, women of color, okay. But the reason I bring these subjects up because it has a lot to do with that. Because in the Reagan administration, Bush, they try to paint middle class families as um, as always perfect. And I mean, it's not always perfect. Okay, you have the functional families within the class in high class America. They do things in behind closed doors, but use money and the lifestyle effort to cover it up. Trust me, I know. Okay, so see where I live in the hood. Okay, you understand? Okay, coming from middle class America, so understand that the abuse things was told, not told, and then sometimes it was backed up. Okay, so that's why. Okay, so in this case, Carol in the song is Prince written and later on gave let Patti LaBelle revised it to make it
Mm.
popular. Was talking about a teenage girl. She was having she was trouble. Father, her father had issues with the mother. His mother was talking about, but not talking about is being present in her life. Okay, and the girl was being fast. Saying she was out there having sex, and he kicked her out. And we see the video of Patti LaBelle. She's out in the street getting drugs. Okay, and it's the crack and cocaine epidemic. Forget this at the time when it was made 30 years ago. I mean, yeah, 30 years ago. And so understand this was all the stuff was going on. Um, and it's like when they reached the white community, that's when crack epidemic and people are talking about broken homes and and cleansing for drug use, not sending folks to prison, okay, incarcerated. Y'all understand it. So remember, I bring the public because it's real. And the reason why I remember hearing girls
Mm.
I know when I was 9 and 10 years old, but those who were older getting kicked out. And usually the girls, their parents or their father or mama kicked them out, and then we go out in the street. They're a prostitute. They wouldn't go to shelters. That's why you have children now in Covenant House. You know what I'm saying? They got kicked out even, not just the girls, the guys did too. And you had those who even was considered gay or thought they were presumed to be gay, they was kicked out of the street too. And they would try to get a job and they couldn't get a job. So they turned to prostitution, to drug dealing, to join gangs, destructive behavior. And it's a time when, back in the day, when hip hop was still clean, self destruction. You hit it for self destruction. It was no thug and killing and murdering and calling for bitches and hoes and nigga. This is hip hop was talking about self destruction. You hit it for the warning our people. Okay, and it was and then one thing about that hip hop moment, that rap moment, it was all salt and pepper. You know what I'm saying? MC Light, Big Daddy Kane, Heavy, all these rap people in the old school rappers, they came together in this song. Even Ice T, so what Easy and them on there too. I think they were, but they, it was people coming together. It wasn't East Coast and West Coast. And I mean, I'm sorry, I'm almost 40. I remember those days, and it make me want to cry. And when I hear Patti Labelle's song with Prince, yo, Mister, this was issues coming up. And I tell the younger generation who don't know, why that we have all this crime epidemic going on. The single parent thug and culture that they popularized to minorities in hip hop. Um, to put the pride complex. This was the origin, okay. And when I'm like I said, almost 40 years old, I used to dance this song and then want to cry because the beat the song make you want to dance, but the message make you want to cry. And that song is so touching because I remember hearing from older people in our family, oh, that so and so got kicked out because it can handle her. Even my own mother kicked my sister out. Okay, I didn't stay with my mother, but she had to kick her out, and my sister had to live with her father. We don't say father, okay. And not to bring my sister's business up, because she's in the 40s, but you know what I'm saying. But that was going on. That's why speaking of Janet Jackson on Rim Nation, if you listen to the album Janet Jackson, that's why she had songs. Um, Children of the Day. Yeah, that song I forgot. Say of the World Day. You know what I'm saying? She talked about real issues on her album. Folks were dropping out of school. Okay, so if you know the backup, why we in today, and people made it, some didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why the origin of that thug culture came in, because you had sisters, Latino white girls, but sisters, Latino women of color, who was kicked out of the home. They had well-to-do homes, and they got kicked out of the street, and they got caught out with those who already there. You know what I'm saying? And some of the women was killed by men, killed by other girls who jealous. You know what I'm saying? Um, these are real issues. And when you hear that song, yo, Mister, I'm saying this is 30 years this song. It's 2019, and you got to do your research. I tell people all the time. Maybe I bring up history a lot. You want to know the origin of the problem, where it started. Okay, and that song's so touching. It make you want to cry. And Patti Labelle's telling that man, "Yo, Mister, how's your daughter?" You know what I'm saying? And and then in the video, she dies. And now he feels sorry now. And he kept blaming her issues on her fast mama. You know what I'm saying? Um, he beat her down when she's out there being fast, you know what I'm saying? And she was hard to control. He kicked her out, not getting no help, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that they bring this up because it happens in white families. But communities of color, us African American people, we mix with black, white, and American, and Hispanic, same thing. African, Spanish, Native, you know what I'm saying? And some of them claim to be black, whatever, maybe part black, whatever. But in communities of color, folks will kick you out. But in white neighborhoods, not all in the stereotype, but you hear the counseling, and psychology, and our people of color, not all. That's why I had psychological issues on bipolar. They got ignored over these years because they won't believe in. in mental health. You know what I'm saying? And it's a catch-20 because you have people like in speaking of crack epidemic when they had the violent centers. And you know why those OGs, those gangsters, those veterans, those veteranos, if, you know what I'm saying, in the African American Hispanic descent people of African American Hispanic community in Los Angeles because the OGs so tough and they talk them oh and they worse. Speaking of crack epidemic, Dr. Jody West, crack was made in UCLA. I did my research. Not on the street. I always thought that it was made. It was rich people's drug in the street in in middle class America, and the high class was white. But in the hood, Ricky Ross came up and for like him came up and made it and cooked it. No, no, it was cooked at UCLA. Dr. Jody West worked there too, and he hit violent centers where a lot of brothers, middle African, Hispanic, Mexican, maybe some Puerto Rican down there, but mostly Mexican down in Los Angeles, they were put in violent centers. So they already had coming from broken homes, foster care, drugs, their mamas, daddies, and gangs, prostitution, pimp, that mess. Okay, some of them being molested, that too. They were put in violent centers. So they didn't have the proper like they do in white. I'm being honest with you, being a white neighborhood, being race. So that the West, they gave them drugs 10 times worse than their condition. And I can relate because I was on Invega, means because ordinary, that's why I didn't work too good on the job. That's why and I see why some folks didn't want to hire me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm very touched about this. So that's why some of my people not only didn't believe in getting mental health, counseling, psychology, whatever, psychiatric help. You have folks who are wicked, especially you have folks of color too, but folks of white, not individualized, not all, collectively, who had a plan to hurt the community. So you see what I'm saying? So these untreated people in mental health issues in the community, they making babies left and right. So their kids come out. So imagine your child get kicked out of middle class America, especially of color, whether it be mostly wealthy, well-to-do accuracy neighborhoods like, saying they like the Hustables. They kick out, so they gotta get used to that old hood disease, ghetto body culture. You know what I'm saying? And they get used to it. And I mean, one thing, of course, is I wish they also touch on the men going getting kicked out because we go through issues too. You know what I'm saying? But the women, being diligent and vulnerable than the man in this case, in your mister is about a woman, your girl, okay, she becoming a woman. She's not grown yet, and she was 16, kicked out. 15, 16, that young age, and she had nowhere to go. And you got old school, the old dudes who pimps, some are sex offenders. They gonna sleep with them, they ain't got arrested. You have me and her boys her age doing that too. They selling dope. They in gangs, so they don't got no the father figure. The real father kicked her out, so she's looking for the men or the boys her age who got money, who hustling as a father figure. Some of them dudes don't have the best. Well, they don't have the best energy. They sleeping with her. They over age. They teen. You know what I'm saying? But even the ones who young, so they got savage stubborn type because they have not been treated. They came from broken homes. They probably went to violence up there in New York somewhere too, not just in Los Angeles or even in Houston. So they messed up in the head. They gonna kill somebody if they don't get that crack. That's how like it is. If they don't get that money, because they trying to survive on the street. They don't have no proper skills to work. Their money minimum wage is not paying well. They can't survive well. So they gonna make hustling money. And if the girl don't cooperate in sex or she gets shot by the boyfriend's rivals, or he kill her for some reason. This mess goes on, or she get high and she get the harsh drugs besides crack cocaine. She get the heroin, she died that, or she might get HIV because the AIDS epidemic was going up too. So so going back 30 years later, y'all, we still talking about these issues. I mean, to be honest with you, and there to the point we get shot by police behind it, and we seeing Black Lives Matter, Latino Lives Matter, even their lives matter because the reservation. You know, our Native American brothers and sisters was a mix with Native American, but those on reservation, they live worse in the ghetto. I'm glad that Akon put the ghetto, put the reservation. We think we living bad in the ghetto. Shoot. Our native people, many of us got a drop of it, okay? But the ones who classify as purity and blood quantum mess, okay? Like the one drop rule. They they even though they got government benefits, they don't even get, and usually color is, and be honest with y'all, the white looking Native Americans, and it's not besides the $5 animal who ain't got no doggone Native American, the ones who are part Native American who look white, they weren't reaping the benefits compared to ones who are darker. Yeah, that's real, okay? And them Native American people, they living worse, and they don't want to get shot by the police too. Yes, look it up. They say Native American men to get shot when the black and other people and Hispanic men, okay? For real. Yeah, yeah, do your research, y'all. So that's the whole reason why that I bring this up. The origin of the problem that we're going to do. Always look for the grassroots of the problem before you make an argument of it. Where it started, where it originated from, so people can understand it. And this is the time we got millenniums. This is their grandparents. The young 9, 10 is their grandparents. Or if they this generation X, the older generation, I'm the younger generation X, after baby boomers. The older generation X was born in the early 70s, maybe late 60s, because I'm born in the late 70s. The older generation, they failed, but they didn't fail they failed because their parents failed too. Okay, even they had money, so they kicked off to dogs, and like Patti Labelle's, and also Prince was telling yo Minster, check on your daughter. She's out there either getting high, prostituting, and next thing she died, you gonna feel sorry for us. You know, it's hard to forgive you because you the one out the daughter instead of trying to get some professional help. You kicked her out. You try to be destructive in your discipline. Let's be real. I beat her down. You know what I'm saying? Being the male version of Sakata, being an old Sakata Pappy. Sorry, I'm trying to stay with his word. It's Sakata Pappy. You know what I'm saying? Just savage. You know what I'm saying? Towards our daughter. You know, being like when Brewster Place, remember? Yeah, I remember character when Basil's dad, the yellow red brother, had slept with old Winfrey. Paul Winfield, and I'm glad the mama came out with y'all know I don't know how I feel about beating the kids. I'm glad her mama came out and with that shotgun to kill her her husband because she was pregnant. And Paul Winfield, playing her dad, got the broom and beat old Winfield with the baby mama. Mama came with that shot. I said, go ahead, mama. Mama got that shotgun, you better. I beat my baby. Mama. Baby, I love that part of the sing. Y'all know how I feel about beating your kid. I love that mama. That sister girl. She older. Sister girl. She came up with that doggone shotgun. Baby. And he left her alone. Okay? All right? And it's even when Bruce played that 30 years ago, that movie, and this doing the scenery comes from the Jim Crow days. She had to work for white people, wait for older people, Africans, people got money. You know what I'm saying? You know, and living privately in Brewster Place, up there in New York. So, it was segregated because they had that wall. Everybody beat the wall down because that area was red line the white community. And you remember it was so much thuggery. This is the thuggery now. And, Mike Tyson played one of the thugs. And then and Robin Givens, they were still married at the time. I don't forget this, y'all, back in 1990. Y'all, you see, one thing, these young people, they do their research is one thing, and I'm not a parent yet, I'm almost 40. You always try to educate your past, okay, to your kids. I don't understand how not linger in the past, so let's educate them so they can understand why we got this stuff today, okay? And even with Brewster Place, she was, she was the older version of Carol from Your Mister. After they kicked that Basil and that red dude had slept with her. Cause and one thing I love the fact that color is was brought up in that movie. Because how yellow blood was sleeping, you're talking about yellow bone, red bone girls and all that stuff, exotic looking chicks, no bad big. Them light skinned brothers, high yellow, and even us camel, but you know what I'm saying, and we're not too light, but you try to paint that time. But no, if you was a lot of shade, you was getting them sisters, okay? I'm being real with you, and I'm glad. Red, who the dude who's way lighter than me, he was getting brown skin, milk chocolate, Winfrey. You know what I'm saying? He was getting them women. That's why Paul
Mm.
Winfrey didn't like the fact that he was, he didn't want his daughter being pregnant. But no, Red was no good. Basil's dad was no good. He was a thought. He was male thought. You know what I'm saying? So he was getting. You know what I'm saying? And that was back in the day. So before anybody start talking about the women, no, the meat, the shoes, even the Drake, if they do a remake, Drake, this your role. Drake will be Baby's dad, baby. I don't know who gonna play Winfrey's character. Bruce plays. If they ever do, I got a cast call. Drake will take the shoes. Drake will take off. For real. Shoot, Drake will play that role. Chris Brown, Drake. I'm being honest with you. Be real up here now. You know what I'm saying? So back in them days, for real. So, you know what I'm saying? So folks don't understand that. And she felt that color is some child too. She said, oh, he look good. And he sweet talked her in Brewster Place, baby. And he laid down, made a baby. And Paul Winfield Carter came out there trying to beat her daughter up with that broom. Sister girl, that mama came out there trying to stop her. She got that shotgun. I said, go ahead, sister. Sister girl, see, we need mothers like that. Not old Sakata and mom type of Taria Graham, baby. We need mothers like that. Thank you. She stopped that man from beating her daughter. You show with a broom, and she was pregnant. That went on back in them days. Okay, sure was. So anyway, I bring all this 80s stuff up now, baby. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So they would throw their kids to the dogs, just like in the song Yo Mister, and the kids will learn the dysfunctional and destructive behavior for those who are already there. You know what I'm saying? Both the older folks and the younger folks. And they will also, exploit it, non-sexually and sexually. So at the end of the video, you watch your Mister with Patti LaBelle singing, saying, and this song was written by Prince, and Prince actually performed, but it like I guess Warner Bros. Didn't want him to do the song, so he gave it to Patti LaBelle. Years later, he gave it to Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle did one thing I critique. Patti LaBelle's, no offense to Prince, hers is we familiarized with it. She put more gospel vocals in it. However, the screaming part of the song, I can't understand the lyrics. But when I heard Prince is all right, but I can understand his lyrics when he's singing it. You know what I'm saying? But Patti Bell put more gospel for you couldn't the overtones of her vocals, her the yelling part. You know what I'm saying? The high notes over. I can hear everything what she was saying. I didn't have to read the lyrics online. When Prince
Mm.
sang it back in '86, you can understand even though Patti Bell put a thing to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my critique on that. But when it comes to the real issue of the song. This is the reason why we had broken families and teenage pregnant. This is real and this is going on, especially those of communities of color. If you want to know why our communities is starting, wait right there. And people say, "Oh, you be the past." No, it's the origin. Okay, and this is during time the crack epidemic and gangs were forming. You know what I'm saying? Street gangs are forming in the '70s, but they started to get bigger in the '80s, especially in the crack area, because it's a big business. You know what I'm saying? Gangs want to make money too, besides just, you know what I'm saying, gang bang, they want to make money too. So they was part of the crack epidemic and drug, you know what I'm saying? And folks got to understand, before we had bad schools in the '90s, and, you know what I'm saying, and then, in 2000, there's bad children. They were bad. Look at Lean on Me with Joe Clark, with Martin Freeman. They were bad. They had to put Welcome to the Jungle about, you know what I'm saying, at the beginning of the video. I mean, the movie, you know what I'm saying, with Guns Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. And them kids were bad. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, once they started doing the redlining again, you had white folks who use, who racist, not the ones who are not racist, who were voting. That's why we tell people in our community to vote locally. Don't just vote presidential because the local votes do matter. The white parents who are race undercover racists or over racists who segregation who was not for integration, they voted against policies that was going to make those communities of color prosper, even when they integrated into those areas that mostly white. And when they left, the white flag, they did their own version of gentrification. They made sure the communities had less resources, that's dry, does jobs. That's why Chicago, like you hear about, with the Ronald Watts, Kanika Jenkins, even the architect, you mentioned his name up. That's why those areas, even with the Jordan and the Jaquan and all that, I can't suggest cement because he didn't in this area. But in those areas where people are in, the drill music, the trap music, and you have the cheat, all that. The reason why all that going on because they when they was integrating those areas in the '60s and '70s, people of color, the white people who didn't want the integration, who was against it, they voted locally against those policies and they lost resources. And a lot of our people of color, you know what I'm saying, maybe consider themselves African American, respecting of us a pure black, because of the one drop rule, they suffer, and I guess a lack of knowledge is like, okay, well, I gotta get my baby feed my baby, and diapers and stuff. How I'm gonna do that if I don't got no job and I gotta go across town and rent due? Okay, his crack epidemic. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's what happened. A lot of folks don't understand. CIA, Reagan, Bush knew about that. That's why a lot of business. When the movie Selena, remember her parents had a restaurant, and when Reaganomics came in, messed it up. That's exactly. And folks don't understand there was a scene cut out of the movie Selena where they were debating by welfare. Y'all see on YouTube in Elgin's own playing Abraham Kania. A lot of folks don't know these issues back in the day. So now we got enough technology. Yeah, they had policies, and this is where the welfare queen come up. Although mostly white people own the system, you know what I'm saying? And we had welfare kings and queens. You had the sister in the single parent household do the LBJ, okay, policy, okay, after integration. And integration wasn't bad, but it was LBJ effing it up. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know what I'm saying? Okay, y'all know about this, the H.L. Hunt and Kennedy and Nation Islam, Malcolm X and Nixon and, you know what I'm saying, abortion and Martin Luther King. Yes, that's the one who got, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? That's what they were trying to mess up because they didn't want in the integrated neighborhoods. The idea of them paying Islam, the H.L. Hunt, the idea of killing Kennedy, the idea of killing Kennedy's brother and Martin King, they was trying to stop that racial integration and multiculturalism. That's the idea, and into bashing Catholicism because Caliphate is not for that. Yeah, you got priests that talk, but that's not part of our faith, okay? And of course, in the South, and the Bible, they made their own empires and they made their own churches in the Bible. So they was afraid that would contradict their interpretation, and people who actually live the faith, even they was sleeping around. I know that Kennedy was sleeping around with Monroe. We know about that Titan game, but his mission was to stop, and he was killed. Okay, so the devil. I know the main reason why I wasn't even talking about that, but I'm gonna bring it on my channel. So they meant for destruction in the communities of color and white people prosper. Okay, because they took them kids out. A lot of us know, and put them in private, especially private evangelical schools, where they taught their politics, like saying, and along with their religion. That's why some of these folks are cops coming from that era, and they have no chill killing you, but they in church saying Jesus. Okay, y'all, why they not doing Jesus' work? You know what I'm saying? You can't over here join the police for because you hate a person of a different race, and you want them to commit a crime, or you trying to make up a crime on them and put fake charges on them or kill them, and then go to say Jesus with the Bible. Yes, I love the Lord. I'm serious. I'm from the South. I'm a car like it is. Same people have my old Christianity, and when they protest against Satanism, and I'm not for Satanism. Don't get wrong. At temples in Oklahoma, they have bigoted views. I laugh. How can you get all uproar about Satan, but you do what Satan do? You know what I'm saying? But you it's just Jesus, okay? Here's the Lord. The white folk be clapping to Jesus too. That's just you know what I'm saying? Let's be real, okay? Yes, I love the Lord. With the Bible in their hand. I just had to laugh. I'm like, these same even though they vote for Trump, vote for Reagan, vote for Bush, had bigoted issues. Oh, I love my black Christian brother. Really? Okay. I love my Hispanic. He's like, oh, I'm going to evangelize and knock on people's doors. And I do see this in the hood. A lot of them wealthy white people come to the hood and help the community. But they ain't trying to help them folks get out of the. I know I'm saying not everybody, but I've noticed that too. And then they want to manipulate you in their own interpretation. I told one of them, can y'all please leave my door? Because I know you're no offense. I'm an ex-prize. I know what you're doing, okay? I know exactly you're trying to manipulate my mind. That's why you have folks, when, what's his name? Michelle Williams with Dave Chad Johnson. And I'm glad to reach Nasheed and said that that dude had they had some breakfast for the cops, and he went from the hood in Arizona somewhere, and then mostly Africans and children serving these cops. Yeah, the same cops at 19 gonna kill you, murder. You know what I'm saying? Yes, having them breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And yeah, so he's trying to give Michelle, and we know what they do. And I believe they do it as a passing brother. I don't care. Then just don't always tell the truth. That's a passing brother who kissed the white woman. I mean, J. Ever Hoover was a passing brother too. He had black ancestors, but he got his white looking dad and unkilled because he was when the FBI was trying to find he had some black DNA. Y'all know that story? A sister, a light skinned sister with natural hair. I think she relaxed her hair, but she bright kind of bright skin, and she was her dad told him to tell her about related to J. Ever Hoover. Okay, I seen YouTube a documentary of her. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he has a lot of issue with that, and that's why he was targeting Malcolm X and Martin King and them, and look, I think Garvey and them cahoots together, but they threw him on the bus when we got caught with that fraud. But they were trying to get W the boys, you know what I'm saying? Because they want us, and yeah, because he was part black and he was gay too, because he didn't want to make no baby with some black DNA with a white woman. They call it like it is, okay? So this was saying to bring all this subject up, it caused a function in our community, and then you had parents who were out of poverty of African descent or even Hispanic women as well, who had issues with their kids, and I'm being honest because as Prince wrote it down, how you know what I'm saying, and how Patti Labelle saying about here, I beat her down. Well, they destructive bit. Here we go, the destructive beating discipline. I guess Carol retaliated. He kicked her out. Well, just like Lil Kim. Lil Kim, yep, I'm real. Lil Kim. Lil Kim, parents were married. She wasn't always in the hood. She had good, but she went to Catholic school. Yeah, a lot of folks know that. But when her family divorced, and she had issues with her mother, her father had got into it, and Lil Kim fought her father. Yes, she did. She talks about. I remember Lil Kim did fight her father. So you know what I'm saying. She went out. You know what I'm saying. Let's be real, okay? They were living good there in New York or Brooklyn, where they were from. Yeah, Jersey, where they were from. Yeah, they were living good. But when they divorced, then you have poverty. You know what I'm saying. And each parent got to take care of child support and custody battle, and then some of them ain't making it financially because when they was together, they had money. They were working together. You know, mama and dad were, mom stay at home. But when they divorced, they got to get used to being single with a child. You know, they're being single by themselves, but with a child, and they got all this, emotional baggage and everything else. And so little Kim, so she went on the street. When she dated Panamanian, the Afro Latino Panamanian, drug dealer. I'm forget before she was dating Biggie and something like that. I remember she fought her dad got into it. She fought her dad. She showed in. She Lil Kim, yes, Lil Kim, Kimberly Jones, put a government name. She fought her daddy. She showed in. A lot of folks don't know that. I keep up with the industry, y'all. So he kicked her out. There we go. I guess she was a Carol out there, but she alive now because she's in her 40s. But I guess her daddy, Mr. Jones, was your Mister. But anyway, but no. The point is, that's why these issues come up. Then you have families who have had it, but they had abuse in the family. They were abused, and they doing the same thing with money. They sexual abuse. You know what I'm saying? So, and the children come out, messed up, and they get kicked out. They be throwaways and runways, and they got to go out there, hustle and stuff too. That's what folks understand. So the people who already had something, they go to the hood, and they try to struggle. They're not used to it. Probably had used to having money. You know what I'm saying? So that a lot of folks don't understand. So when you hear this song, Yo Mister, it has a lot of meaning to that song. To a point, it has a lot to do with today. And some of these so-called thug children, they weren't born thugs, okay? Thug gangs of cholo, you know what I'm saying? Cholo. Their parents was, especially the women, were like cap, okay? They was kicked out, and um, and they had to get used to that lifestyle, and that's why they messed up. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the young people know why we got this problem. Look at the origin of the problem, and I'm glad that I listened to that song at 10 years old back in 1990. It came out in 89, but I remember BET, VSO, Diane Simpson, shout out Diane Simpson, a chocolate dark skin, but with naturally green eyes, that mixed DNA. Who was, when BET was BET, okay, with Mr. John Soldier, Viacom, Pride Prince Complex, contributor, aka Slave 13th Amendment. When he was on VSO back in the day, yeah, I'm serious. They do. I mean, they'll play this old play, Yo Mister, how's your daughter? Yes, and I would jump up and down and dance that song, and then I would feel bad because the song, the lyrics of the song, you know what I'm saying? Because it end Carol, even though it showed Carol and Martha and Carol and Patti Bell dancing, they it showed her going to the grave. You know what I'm saying? and they're marching with the coffin, saying it's a sad scene, but it's letting folks know. And I guess in my theory to our community, African community, those others of color as well, Patty and Prince, and the one that was at that BET celebration back a couple years ago, y'all on BET awards together. And Patty Labelle was tributing, and she threw her shoe, and Prince caught her shoe. Okay, I don't forget that. They do the dedication to Prince. They know each other. A lot of folks don't know the history. And Prince and Patty Labelle worked together too. So yes. So when Patti Labelle came out with a song, that was trying to tell our community we need to help our children and not throw them to the sharks because that's what happened to Carol. She threw them to the sharks in the song, Carol ended dead. Yep. So, and even Tupac was talking about Brenda got a baby. No wonder Jimmy Iovine and the other white men were trying to tell Tupac because they want songs to try to help out. They want songs to destruct, hit them up and through, stuff. But anyway, and then get that money to the rappers make to Private Prince Complex. Anyway, y'all have a nice day.